Bitcoin is a great tool. It's an incredible tool. But tools are not ends. Tools are means to bigger ends.
You cannot serve both God and money. And I'm sure a lot of us have thought about this passage in terms of our relationship with Bitcoin. We have to realize that this utmost place in our hearts is in contention. We have this natural sickness. How sick is it that my heart starts worshiping the creation rather than the creator? I love Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is our best opportunity ever to separate money and state. I love it as a technology, as a nerd. It's so accessible and open. But do they say about Bitcoin, he is risen? Bitcoin hasn't saved me from hell. Bitcoin hasn't known me and loved me from the foundation of the earth. Bitcoin didn't create the world.
There's a reason why Paul wrote the letter to Corinthians talking about eternal rewards, talking about wreaths that are going to last forever, crowns that are going to last forever. Because it's very easy for us to get caught up in crowns that aren't going to last real long.
It's in gratitude for God's eternal kindness to sinners that we find the freedom and the power and the desire to go out into the world with Bitcoin as a tool for God's justice.
If you know about Bitcoin, if you understand why it's better money, that is massive. And then you can actually focus on what's important, focus on the gospel, focus on getting the word out, focus on telling your neighbor about Christ. So I would just encourage people to not be scared to talk to your pastors about that.
When you've got the truth on your side, you don't need to push in the way that F-heads or Dogecoiners or whatever these people that want to come and with this dishonesty and with this constant insistence, you need to insist when you're telling a lie. That's part of the hallmark of dishonesty. You need to be very insistent because you need people to believe this thing. Lies take a lot of energy. Truth does not need any energy to maintain it. It will exist regardless.
Yeah. Truth will win, right? And I think about what you're talking about, this idea of Christ and truth itself, is that truth wins. Like that is a Bitcoin belief, is that at the end of the day, Bitcoin's going to win regardless of if I convince you or not. And I think that's very similar to the idea of Christianity. I think of a story. I said I wasn't going to talk, but I think of a story in the Bible where they say that to the Jewish leaders look at each other and say, if Jesus is who he says he is, we're fighting against God. If he's not, this will be dead in a generation, right? And similar to Bitcoin, that's a similar kind of comparative ethos, I think.